Hi Aquarius, welcome to your June reading, June into July. All right, so you have a tendency right now to be talked into some daydreams. No, that doesn't mean that things don't work out and your better half isn't really, telling you the truth or anything. That's not what I mean. I mean that you have certain visions or dreams that you really want to come true. So when people talk to you a certain way or tell you a certain thing, you have a tendency to believe them. However, those of you who are in long-term relationships, marriages, etc., find that you are a bit harsh. You can't help but feel limited, right? And so you start to dream about other people, if it was like this, I wonder how it would be if I had a different partner. I wonder how it would be if I, just had X amount of money coming in from this job or that job. I wonder how it would be. I'm getting lost in that daydream world. Usually, I would say, imagination, daydream, it's all very positive, good for you. It's how you manifest. It's amazing. But right now, what you're doing is you're using those dreams to work your way out of reality, for not using it to not face what's going on, using it to hide. And we don't want to do that. And we also don't want to lie to ourselves, so the door opens then for other people to lie to us. There's also that. So you want to be really careful. You want to be careful about your own self-image. You don't want to hype yourself to the point where a partner, a prospective business partner is looking at you crazy like, no, but honestly, what do you think you're doing right now? You also don't want to be so overhyped on yourself that other people see that weakness and exploit it within you and tell you huge lies that you end up believing, and then financially they cost you dearly later on. You want to, as difficult as it may be, remain quite balanced in how you think of yourself and how you think of any potential partners in any arena of your life that you might have. You don't want to put yourself here and them here, or vice versa. You want to balance things out. And that's not easy to do right now, especially astrologically, with everything you have going on, especially that Mercury retrograde. It's going to throw everything off. It's going to want you to overblow things. It's going to want you to believe people's completely falsified stories or pitches. Don't go in for it. Financially, you stand to lose so much by buying into people who there's a part of you that would tell you, like, no, this person isn't telling the truth. This person is lying. But if you're lying to yourself, you won't see it. That's why I'm kind of going in on you, because I need you to be very clear on your opinion of yourself, so you can be very clear about others when they come knocking, and they will. And they have a lot of mendacity surrounding them. They want to lie to you. They want to exploit you. They want to manipulate you. They want a piece of the pie. Queen of Swords and the Magician. See, the King of Swords there is you hyping yourself. The Queen of Swords is like, you're dope. You're amazing. You know that. We all know that. Stay there. And then you'll be able to see the Magician for who they are. You'll be able to see that the Magician is telling you one thing and doing another. That's it. That's like literally your whole reading. That's it. That's exactly the point I want to get across to you. And yes, is that going to lead to some delays here and there? Yeah. Are you going to have to maybe rebrand something or move it from one platform to another? Sure. Will you have to perhaps take something that was brick and mortar, like out here in the real world, and put it in the virtual world? Maybe. But that's okay. You'll be doing it with your eyes open and not, under the guise of someone telling you that, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Just trust me on it. No, don't trust anybody. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. I'm telling you, because these are the moments, these are the moments where you slip. Aquarians don't ever do anything too bad, but these moments where you get ahead of yourself and you get on like this high about yourself, that's when you slip, because people are always waiting. The snakes are always waiting in the grass. They are. So keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open, keep your vision clear, keep a very clean mirror handy that you can look at yourself in and go, am I lying to myself right now? Am I making myself seem better than I am? Maybe I should just ground myself a little bit. That's a big thing. Meditation, grounding, walking around barefoot on the grass, all of that is going to help you. Listening very, very, very intently to that quiet voice you have is really going to help you. And when you see that your partner, whether it be your financial partners, your romantic partner, your family, when you see them start to struggle, you'll be clear enough to be there for them. You'll be awake and aware enough to be there for them. So for you, I would suggest the word equanimity. Regardless of what happens. We're looking at it from out here somewhere. Great, how wonderful, perfect, that's going on right now. I see it, I acknowledge it, I'm going to hold back a reaction to that, and I'm certainly not going to apply it to myself. And then you see something over here happening, great. Glad that that's happening. Obviously it's happening. I am not going to get pulled in to anything right now. I'm not making any major decisions. And the only ones I am making, I'm making because I'm listening to me. That's it. That's it. Nobody else gets a seat at the table. Not in the next 4 weeks. This weather is crazy, and I know you can't tell how windy it is. Maybe you can hear it in the speaker, but it's actually quite windy. It's like you start to do the air readings and the air goes nuts. But look out. Watch out for anyone right now that seems to have a quick fix for you. Watch out for anyone who seems to know everything about you and wants to tell you all about yourself. Watch out for anyone who obviously your gut is telling you has an agenda. Listen to your gut. Listen to your instincts, not your ego, your instincts, and listen close because it has so much it wants to say to you. It can pick these people out from a mile away. It's just waiting for you to catch up. So get on the same wave as your instincts. Be your instincts this month. You get what I'm saying? And then everything works out great. You walk into July having made the right decisions, having stayed away from the wrong people, and, not getting bamboozled. And that's what we want. We want you to make it safely into a very prosperous time where a lot will start to move for you. But for now, it's about jumping over these hurdles, man. It's about dodging these bullets. It's about, just like I said, keep your eyes open. I told you that's the whole reading. There's no other cards want to come out. They don't, because that's it. As long as you keep yourself level and in check, you will be able to see the magicians coming. And as long as you can see the magicians coming, boom. Trust your instinct. Okay? Pay due attention to your partners. Pay due attention to your own happiness. Watch that happiness come in the more and more you trust your instincts. And contain that power. Revel in it. But don't give it away. Keep it. Bottom of the deck. 10 of Pentacles. Oh, we're so close, Aquarius. We're so close. We just got to dodge a couple of these hurdles here and there, and we're good. So, easy on yourself. Super, super critical, cynical, skeptical about everything going on out here, but keep it to yourself. No giving that power away, not to anyone. I love you. Let's look at these cards. Mwah. Hi Aquarius, welcome to the second part of your reading. It's a short one. I think there are so few cards out because the message is so clear. You're doing the right things, but once in a while, I think it's easy for you to get into a groove of believing that, you know, things have been going the way I thought they were going to go, and it's been happening that way for a while, so I'm right. And once you get into that space, it gets really hard to see what's really going on. It's also when we become the hardest on our partners, especially if your partner is a fire sign. I guess I'm dancing around it. What I'm trying to say is that it is time for you to focus on the people around you. And you know, and this is a little bit touchy, if you are in a marriage or a long-term partnership that you don't want to be in anymore, I don't think that there's any time left to stay stuck. I think the people around you are tired of it. I think if you really don't want to be a part of something, then, you know, you need to make that decision. But it's hard to make those sort of decisions. That the idea of finality can be really difficult when you've already convinced yourself that you know exactly what's going on and you're just right. Because if you're just right, then you wouldn't have to leave anything, right? Because you didn't make any mistakes, so it should be perfect. And that pressure can start to get to you mid-June to mid-July. There's a lot of pressure being applied here. If you're worried about money, especially long-term money when it comes to investments, etc., the same thing applies. You've got to figure out where where you believing that you know is getting in the way of what is. And I think the more people try to tell you this, the more irritated you get, because sometimes you really just get on this wave of like, no, but I know what I know. Yeah, I know it feels like that right now, but you really don't. You really don't. So you need to sit back and reevaluate how you're judging situations, how you're judging business deals, how you're judging your partner, and where you're placing yourself in relation to that stuff, and how you're reacting to things as well. You know, the idea of equanimity is that no matter what happens, you take it in stride. You allow the good to come, but you also allow the bad, because, you know, both of those things kind of lose their current, lose their power if they're both allowed and you're receptive to both. The thing about being this kind of Aquarian is that nothing is allowed except what you want. And if you approach the rest of Gemini season that way, you're going to run into some huge blockades, because it is requiring for you to put your ego to the side. We also have some interesting astrological placements coming up that will turn everything around. And if you're set, you know, if you're displaying this sort of fixed, rigid quality, then you'll get rolled. And we don't want that. So we want to humble ourselves, basically, is what I'm saying. We want to, especially, you know, the earth signs are represented here, but also this fire element, especially if you're dealing with a fire sign or an earth sign. We want to humble ourselves, not too much. You know, you still are who you are. You are incredibly intelligent. You know what you're doing. Your instincts are good. Your instincts are good, but it's the not listening to others that will get you in trouble. So we want, and to the people you trust, let me put it that way. It's when you're like, the irony is that when you're here, okay, in the King of Swords energy, you don't want to listen to anybody, right? That leaves the door open for you to listen to people who can harm you, because they'll know how to get to you, because they'll appeal to your ego. The thing about humbling yourself is
then you will listen to the people you trust, and you'll be able to tell when there's someone around that you absolutely should not trust. That's the difference. And also, excuse me, it is a time to be self-reflective. It is a time, once again, we've been saying this for months now, for you to look internally and figure out, do you want this, especially with this fire sign? Do you want this? Because they're wrapped up in it. They want it. Do you want it? And if you do want it, what version of it do you want? Now, the lunar eclipse may have shown you that yes, you would like a long-term partnership. Yes. You are thinking about long-term love, long-term commitment, even with the Sag here. Yes, you feel like you guys could make a really good team. And perhaps you feel like you've made quite a few overtures and tried to, move this thing along. Now, there may be legality involved. There might be some sort of a legality getting in the way. Perhaps one of you is married. Perhaps there's some other version of, something to do with the law involved there. But you have done what you can from the position you're in to make it clear that this is what you want. And if you haven't yet, you absolutely will, God willing, by the end of June and into July. But first, how can you even get there? And what will you say when you get there? And how honest will it be if you haven't first figured out how to get past your own ego? I'm trying very hard to, say it in the nicest way possible, but it really is the thing that gets you. It's you guys. You get yourselves. And I think that right now, there's a few planets in retrograde trying to teach you how not to do that anymore. The issue is that generally when you try to teach Aquarius a lesson is when they ignore you the most, right? So that's the other thing. How receptive are you? How receptive do you want to be? How much stock do you put in receptivity? Does that figure into how you work? Because I think you will find that most often it does not. You are the one in control of your life. You are the one who will direct the behavior, direct the action. You are the one who will make the moves. But again, that leaves you very easy to manipulate, because anyone who comes in and appeals to that side of you is gonna get you. So we want to make you immune to that, and the way to become immune to it is equanimity. That wraps everything we're saying up into one, beautiful present. People can't manipulate you, you're humble, good things come to you, you're receptive. It all falls under the umbrella of equanimity. But the only thing you have to let go of to be able to do that is control. Ooh, yeah. I felt that, huh? What? Give up control. Yeah. Of course, that's what this is all about. It's about giving up control. And I think that Aquarians, more than most, absolutely do believe in their heart of hearts that if they let go of control, everything will fall apart. Well, why don't you give it a try? Why don't you prove yourself wrong? Why don't you give yourself enough space to prove yourself wrong? Because I assure you, it will not fall apart, and it may go a lot better than you think it will. You may, in fact, realize by July that you've been actually messing things up for yourself by trying to be so in control. Interesting, huh? We'll go through all these cards one by one in the extended. If you would like a personal recorded reading sent to your inbox, there's a Cameo link below. If you would like a one-on-one video chat reading, that link is below too, but you've got to scroll down and go over to page 2. I think there's 3 slots left. The instant and the Vimeo extended are the same extended reading. They're about 18 to 20 minutes long. and one is sent directly to your inbox, and the other you have to log on to Vimeo to view. Both can be viewed over and over again. Stay strong. You're an integral part of the revolution. Your mind, if it's calm and balanced, is one of our greatest assets. Be careful, protect yourself, protect the people around you. I love you lots. I'll see you in the extended right now.